Start saving for your golden years with a Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7, the weekend edition. It's Saturday, May 11, 2024. I'm Ramon Gordon. Coming up in CVM News at 7, 3 dead, several injured in fatal Westmoreland crash. And pound please. Westmoreland residents demand pound for stray animals causing crashes. And Prime Minister awarded honorary doctoral degree. And in sport, Manchester City back on top of Premier League standings. Now beginning our newscast, 3 people are dead and several others are being treated following a 2-vehicle collision in Westmoreland on Friday. Here are the details.
Is among 3 people who succumbed to injuries sustained in a motor vehicle collision in Little London, Westmoreland on Friday. She is Shanique Savaru. Her father, 48-year-old Alwyn, and another man, 43-year-old Owen Barnes, also died. Police say shortly before 10 p.m., a Toyota Hiace motor bus and a Toyota Corolla motor car were traveling in opposite directions along Bay Road when they collided head-on. The authorities did not share theories as to what caused the crash. While sending condolences, Member of Parliament caretaker for Western Westmoreland, Ian Hales, urges motorists to be more cautious on the road.
Make we take time on the road. Let's take our time and drive, and we will reach, let's be patient and let's be caring on the road, because we will reach.
He also called on the government to increase resources to rehabilitate roads in the parish.
The majority of roads in Westmoreland now is filled with potholes. The rainy season is upon us here, and the place is full of potholes. And I want the government to take a look at the infrastructure in terms of the road infrastructure in Westmoreland, and at the same time, let's put some cautionary mechanism in place that protects the life of the driving public and motorists.
The police say 6 other people are being treated for minor injuries. 153 people have been killed on the nation's roads since the start of the year, including 8 children. Natalia Clark, CVM News.
Now to other news. On Thursday in the United States, Prime Minister Andrew Holness received an honorary doctoral degree from the Delaware State University. During his commencement address to the graduating class, which included 38 Jamaicans, he highlighted his administration's efforts to improve access to tertiary education locally.
My government has removed the guarantee requirement for student loans. We have removed fees for technical and skills training education, and we have increased significantly the number of scholarships available.
Meanwhile, with over 100 Jamaican students at Delaware University, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he recognizes the potential challenges they may face. He's urging them not to back down in tough times. Instead, he's advising them to face challenges head-on, seeing them as chances to grow and evolve.
In today's world, there is a growing perception that life should always be easy, that we can be successful without sacrifice, lose weight without exercise. I know that none of you here believe that, because all of you have had to work very hard to get that piece of paper that you will take home and put on that wall and point to and remind us that you are now Dr. So-and-so. And you have worked very hard for it. No doubt, however, that there are a few who would be so fortunate. But for the rest of us mortals, we must be courageous in facing what life throws at us. If we give up before trying, we are already defeated in the race of life.
Now, in response to the disturbing rise in school violence, Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake assures the public that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is dedicated to developing and implementing a comprehensive strategy to address this pressing issue. His statement follows the swearing-in of the Custos of Clarendon on Thursday.
We have a plan that spans from public awareness, public education, and also integration of the police in the school, enhancing our school resource officer and school safety program. In addition to that, our commitment in ridding the community of those threat factors, those persons who seek to recruit young children into gangs. We have to remove those threat forces, and that is part of our strategy and our effort. But this is something we have to save the children because they are the future, and it is not a cliche. These are the persons who will be leaders of tomorrow. So we have to protect them. We have to ensure that they get the space to learn and to operate as children, and we are committed to do so.
Still in St. Thomas, anxiety mounts as residents of Cheswick grapple with a dangerous pothole in their road. Despite reporting the issue to authorities months ago, they say there's been no action to repair it. With the onset of May rains across the country, residents are urgently calling for swift intervention. Nika Lewis reports.
The people of Cheswick in Dalby St. Thomas are running out of time, tired of watching the road eat away bit by bit with no help in sight.
The councillor knows about it, the member of parliament knows about it, even the prime minister knows about it because he was here, and all we hear is talk. Now today I'm calling on the powers that be to come and remedy this situation. This is a dangerous area, just something waiting to happen, and we just need some timelines as to when this piece of road is going to be remedied.
We feel more safer walking, so this bridge really need to fix.
In the last election, every PNP and Liberal pass use the bridge, and now it's still there, unbalanced. Yeah, it can't get repair or damage. Yeah. At night we have to put up obstacles if you have vehicle and people falling inside of the bridge. Yeah. So we need it fixed. Yeah, we need it fixed.
The now perilous path has left motorists slamming brakes and exercising stealth in some cases to maneuver it.
We will want to fix it now because it's actually reaching at the middle of the road. That broke off. So, one know what them deal with it.
Nice. And we don't want to drop in there because a couple people will drop in there. You see it. Big people. And everybody can see. Remember, you have some blind people too. So, we need it fixed, and we are call out to the Prime Minister. As you can see, a green side then go round here.
And the light right
there. There's another issue. One with a different sort of sting. The breeding mosquitoes thriving in the depths and nearby potholes. The caretaker also wants better signage and dates.
They put up a sign on each end of the thoroughfare to say that there's a dangerous hole up ahead, so be cautious. Both ends. So we just want the residents, the representatives, every stakeholder in this Dalby division to come together, talk about this piece of road, get it fixed. We need timelines.
2 vehicles can't pass us up, one at a time. And sometimes the man come hard. And sometimes when you break up, you actually come down yourself.
The residents have other challenges, including limited recreational space and in some instances no electricity in sections of the community. But this appears their gravest of concerns. Nika Lewis, CVM News.
The hurricane season may begin earlier this year, but the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, says all is ready. The agency announced its plans in Portland recently. Trisha Gay Kelly reports.
Jamaica's rapidly changing weather pattern has left the country vulnerable to a number of natural disasters, but worse may be approaching the island with a possible early hurricane season in waiting. Is Jamaica ready for what's coming? Well, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management ODPEM is. The agency first met with some Portland residents as they say the parish is more prone to flooding and severe weather impacts. Acting Senior Director in the Mitigation Planning and Research Division, Anna Tucker Abrahams, says one such strategy is the community hazard mapping and plan development process.
These plans outline the hazards that the community is prone to, and it also outlines the mitigation measures or preventative measures that need to be put in place. And these decisions are made jointly with the community, where residents will inform us and other agencies on what the mitigation measures should be to alleviate some of the risks to their community.
This strategy will require input from the community. That seems to be the basis of many of ODPEM's plans, with community effort as an underlining influence. The agency will be watching the parish closely to mitigate the impact of potential storms and hurricanes.
We have a more proactive approach where the drains are clean ahead of the rains. We know the rainy season, and when the Met Office comes, they will give you that period. We know June to November is hurricane season. So if we ensure that the drains are clean within those time frames, it reduces your flood risk and other exposure.
But drain cleaning is only a minor issue when compared to what is clogging the channels. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie says more work will be done in this regard. He's urging residents to properly dispose of their waste.
Coming into Port Antonio, I saw where some drain cleaning work was done. But guess what? What was taken out of the drain was placed on the sidewalk. And this is something that we have to rebel against.
This is ODPEM's second visit to the parish in a bid to prepare residents for future natural disasters. The agency's board was recently amended. Members of the new board will be announced next week. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
In a western parish, residents are demanding the creation of a pound to tackle the rising problem of stray animals on public roads. Following a fatal incident involving a motorcyclist and a cow, the community is urging swift action. Nika Lewis has more.
It's a tale as old as time for many locals in Westmoreland, as sections of Petersfield and Little London continue to bemoan the increasingly fatal occurrence. Stray animals grazing unattended, first in open lots, and ever so often veering onto the public roads, leading to deadly crashes. One farmer, Anthony, has had enough.
Last week, he come and he could run cross where he did when I water because we would come for Hartford. A friend like that. He's a youth work hard and he could make him losing life, just like that. Too much cow on the road, man. Too much loose cow on the road. Government will do something about the cow. I lost too much life. A man could have lived a little longer. Too much life I lost over people, animal. I did not want to raise animal. I just let up on people and like that.
Custos and clergyman Reverend Canon Hartley Perrin agrees things have gotten out of hand.
I'm standing at a location that has developed crisis where animals are always on the thoroughfare. It's a straight lane. Cars have the tendency of speeding as a result, but there is the inherent danger of running into stray animals that are often found on the street. Recently, a larger animal as a horse was knocked down by a vehicle. Tremendous damage done to the vehicle. Even now as we speak, the horse is still dead lying on the wayside.
He fears the carcass will soon become unbearable, requiring a proper disposal. The Custos is demanding action from the authorities, a pound among the solutions.
Persons, some of them have no land at all, but they are rearing endless amount of animals. And all they do is just let them go loose on the way. I think the time has come for the municipal corporation to ensure that the pound is established and these animals are taken away so that there's a clear signal sent to the farmers who are acting irresponsible in this way. It cannot be that you can just have the animals let go on the thoroughfare and inconvenience motorists and other users of the road, and also causes accident which sometimes end in fatalities.
His sentiments echoed by the councillor Ian Miles, who has for years been demanding a pound, but now he wants a regional one.
Individual municipality cannot find the land or the resources in terms of persons who are going to man the pound and lead that aspect of it. And so if it's regionalized, then it will be much better from that standpoint. But where we are, I must again make this call to the farmers. The behavior that I'm seeing displaying is one that is disconcerting. It's one that doesn't lend itself for understanding the humane side of things. The farmers are just careless. They don't care. And as a result of that, they are now rearing their animals on the road networks island.
The politician says the situation has reached crisis proportions and farmers in breach must be made to face the penalties. Nika Lewis, CVM News.
The news continues after this break.
Sure we can. I never see a boy look pretty like you.
Hey son, you good?
No, Dad, I'm starving. Can we get some juicy patties?
Celebrating moms everywhere.
It's Gray with space. Gray plays it through. Here's Bell. It's Stacking. Loses it up. Nicholson punished.
Chance here from outside.
Gray's ball into the middle. It's a free header. And it's a goal.
Welcome back. A look now at regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Another allegation of rape has been lodged with the Guyana Police Force against a top executive of the People's Progressive Party and former minister. The details from HGP TV News.
The woman is alleging that she was raped and is now being cyber-bullied by the former minister. A report was lodged with the police, and up to the time of this report, there was a deafening silence from the Criminal Investigations Department. The young lady hosted a press conference on Friday detailing the horrific experience at the hands of the former minister and top 6 PPP executive member.
I'm shocked, stunned, and immediately tell him to put his clothes on, not expose himself to me. He does not comply nor show any signs of embarrassment, and he tries to coax me to take my clothes off and join him on the bed.
In the statement submitted to the police and seen by Nightly News, the woman alleges that she was raped on September 27, 2020 at the Anna Regina State House in the county of Essequibo. Recounting the incident, the woman explained that the man who was a minister at the time had invited her there to interview her about a job, but then forced himself upon her.
In Antigua and Barbuda, a clinical psychologist says climate change has been negatively affecting the mental health of some individuals. Here's more from ABS TV News.
Reports of natural disasters, rising sea levels, and other environmental hazards are causing many people to experience increasing feelings of anxiety over the future of the planet. Clinical psychologist Janelle Walsh examines how individuals consume information and how it affects the mind.
We know as human beings we are likely to experience similar or the same situation. Now, not because we're experiencing the same situation means that we're going to perceive the information in the same way. The way we consume information is going to be dependent on the effects it has on our mind.
While it is unlikely that watching the news will give you post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, living through a natural disaster very well may. Extreme heat also have a negative impact on our mental health.
Research have shown that there is a link between climate change and one's mental health.
And on the international scene, the Israeli Defense Force has told tens of thousands more Palestinians to leave Rafah as it intensifies military operations in southern Gaza. Details from the BBC.
Now a ghost town. Parts of Rafah that were crammed full of people just days ago are rapidly emptying out. Palestinians fleeing in their thousands as Israel signals it's now set to push in further from the east, issuing new evacuation orders. There's no choice. We have to go to the coast like everyone else, Ahmed says. Israeli airstrikes and artillery shelling have caused panic and Palestinian casualties. Israel says it's taking action against Hamas in one of its last strongholds, here attacking a launch site for rockets fired at an Israeli city. But with Israel's capture of one main border crossing and another blocked off by fighting, this is the fifth day with no aid getting into southern Gaza. There are severe shortages of food, clean water and fuel, deepening the humanitarian crisis.
That's it for regional and international news. I'm Nika Lewis.
We're taking a break. Inspire Jamaica is next.
To stick with the same old insurer, taxis, minibuses, coasters.
Your association TUDS and Marathon Insurance Brokers have negotiated the lowest premiums ever. A 2015 Toyota Probox valued at $1.4 million. Your comprehensive coverage is $75,000. Pay as low as $30,000 for third-party coverage. A 2014 Toyota Hiace valued at $3 million. Your comprehensive coverage is $173,000. Pay as low as $40,000 for third-party coverage. A 2012 Toyota Coaster valued at $4.5 million. Your comprehensive coverage is $250,000. Pay as low as $77,000 for third-party coverage. Call your association today or call MIB Insure 876-929-1468.
No worries. Big savings.
Today is a special Mother's Day edition. The first women to be on the cut. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. I love the way you have to pretend like you don't know. He's like, oh, okay.
I have a daughter now who likes to watch it. She calls me Tess Anchin, not mommy. Okay. That's Tess Anchin.
Yeah. You know, we aren't okay.
This stuff isn't real.
And this
is real. They need to do.
You go upset me.
This is my show and you will not drop word from me.
I could say things I couldn't necessarily.
Yeah, like, take your time down the line.
You're the nice wife.
Yeah.
Hello.
When I've done something, I've done it, and I don't necessarily want to do it again.
She's built that
Except
house.
for me.
Oh.
Over and over. Over and over again.
The Cut is brought to you by Flo and Guinness. The more we work together, the happier we will be. Add the melody to those words, and many of us will reminisce on when, along with our parents, we sang that action song. Now, how about taking a higher note and joining forces as we work to reshape the image of how we can bear each other's burdens, even just a little, for the sake of our children? It's now time for Inspire Jamaica with Curlin Brown.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
A little boy being prodded with a flower in hand could suggest a dress rehearsal for a big role or some big event, but not in this case.
It's actually intended for his mother, who says that's the type of love she gets daily from her 3-year-old, who had already given her a small petal tucked behind her ear. This time, though, he laid his gift down, indicating he wanted to get her attention and support to spend a little more time, we found out, with the fish he was enjoying watching with his dad close by before they were called away. Well, that was guilt for the Inspire Jamaica team right there. And so we struck a bargain to allow him that leisure time of 5 minutes more. Little did we know my action would open a total different conversation. The lessons from Melissa Divine Stoddard, who is a social worker, are valuable for the little and for the big people.
For a moment there, you had to stand back and see your child with a stranger, so to speak.
Well, I didn't see my child with a stranger, right? I saw my child in an environment where I could check in with myself and say my child is safe. So once I was able to check in to ensure my child is safe, I could start grounding. If I had someone with me or I thought he was unsafe, there was no way I could check in with myself or check in with nature. So I can take my shoes off now and I've got to grounding, which is actually a thing. So most times when you feel like exhausted or you feel like the world is on you, especially as a mommy with a child or a parent with a child, you may not have the money to go to a spa or to go do something that's exotic. But you can literally just take your slippers off, take your shoe off, stand on the ground and literally just ground. And it doesn't have to be some fancy yoga pose. It could just be just grounding.
How does that impact the child now? Because we're talking about the children.
Yes, but if you have a parent who's not grounded or a parent who's frustrated and you're not able to mentally be present with yourself, then you can't be present with your child. And that's where we now have to focus on the mental health of those who are parenting. So you can't have healthy children without healthy parents.
While not every child will have the total support of mom and dad at the same time all the time, the deliberate action of others can widen the circle to reshape the image of a healthy outlook for all children.
Now, what face is this one? Funny. The funny face? Ooh. Wow. So that's your funny face? That's my heart. Oh, that's your heart? What? Why your heart looks so small? You have a big heart. Tell me about your heart. Yeah. That's your heart? Whoa, that's a big heart. What's going on in your heart now? It's shaky. It's shaky?
And it can only get better when we continue to allow these minors to acknowledge the rhythms of their hearts through us.
When children are born into a holistic space where they have the support, a mommy, a daddy, grandpa, grandma, good school teachers, just good people in the system who support them and push them on. So when you have people cheerleading you on, it really, even if the structure at home is not as strong economically, but socially, morally, and spiritually, there's strong virtues to grind it, to hold it together. It's like kneading a dumpling, you know? And you need to ensure the flour is a particular way. When it's holding, when that binder is there, and we call the binders the love, the little reinforcement, a grandma who can keep the baby so mommy can go to work, a good care center is close by with loving aunties and uncles who can protect and, preserve the children and engage them while mommy and daddy is at work. So we're not worrying about the other stuff that are traumatic, the abuse and all of that stuff that we could call trauma. We're saying that once children are given love, they're allowed to play, to laugh, to be them little selves,
So with another May comes another opportunity for adults to nurture, anchor, build without limits, giving all children the right to model the better, the best behavior as their minds and bodies develop.
Wherever there's trauma, there's a lack of peace. There's some interruption of the peace. And if peace is interrupted, that means that love is also disturbed.
I am Caroline Brown. Let's continue to inspire Jamaica.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
Time for another break here on CVM News. Sports is next.
race has begun. I've traveled the seas, I've traveled the waters. Once I was weak, now I'm much stronger. I've worked in the sun, look what I've become. I've conquered the beast, now I'm much greater. I've learned from a failure. Dedication, discipline and drive. Seizing every moment that comes up in this life.
Hi, I'm Celine Gordon, host of Holy Road.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy